question today is, Michael, as a tenant, will I have to pay my tenant representative? Typically, no. I would say, 95% or 98% of the time that we see tenants involved with tenant reps, no, they're not having to pay their tenant rep. When a developer builds a building, when an investor buys a building, when we're analyzing what multi-tenant buildings are worth, you're building in tenant improvements, tenant incentives, and tenant rep fees. You want to attract the tenant reps to bring you the right tenants to make everyone successful. So typically you're not going to have to pay your tenant rep. Now, if you're looked at an agreement and your tenant rep says, well, if the landlord doesn't pay you, you're going to pay us. Keep in mind, you're only going to lease the best deal in the marketplace, right? So if the best deal happens to be a deal where you're paying the tenant rep, what does it matter if it's the best deal? So don't worry about it. Make sure you have the right tenant rep when you hire them and when you engage them. You might want to have an agreement in your tenant rep agreement that if their service is terrible, that you can cancel it. They're only protected on the things that you looked at during the time period, not things later. But tenant reps are most of the time paid by the landlord. Those numbers are built into the buildings. You won't have to pay them typically. If we might be of service, you're invited to reach out to us. Ask Michael Bull is brought to you by these great companies. To discover more about their benefits and services, visit creshow.com.